People, people. What is going on? This is a communication from the infinite and the eternal coming down through me into my 12 cranial nerves or the spiritual beings surrounding my pineal gland, focused energy, so that I know who they are through the body and the senses. What looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good to you. You are free. No one can put it in a law or an amendment. If you don't know you free, you'll never be free. Only free people act free. There's no restrictions on you but the ones you allow to be put on you or the ones you put on by yourself. All right? Coming from the spirit, says stop worrying about other people's opinion and what they think. This whole living is a dangerous op.
Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, meet the enemy. We offering immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, meet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, meet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Deity personality, foundation theory. Awake until the enemy, only physically free. Love feed, got rappers being stingy. A whack copy, hocus picture of reality. The money's not in sight, sin reason right. Days dark as night, opportunity treated light. We right for the picking, jailhouse sitting. We're bitten and we're hitting, but still we rise and fit in the system. We get it, stick and move to get them. Like items we selling, drinking, smoking and chilling. Who's willing to change or increase our range? This level of pain makes the world seem strange and plain view. That funky and new, brand hip hop for you. Rappers having a clue. A fool can feel the squeezing, juice mixed with reason. Self-knowledge leading is the harvest disease. Come on, dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Enemy escaping, lyrical ciphers I made. Rotating in play, bait, sweet UK. Street science, state, slave thought, break. Dangerous moves create, hatred control, fate. You overestimate dreams, quick come up schemes. Foes and cream in the means, still be heard or seen. Your fiends for death, I risk behavior at best. Streets live off stress, project the hell to digest. Protect your neck, the enemy slick. Government and politics, those Roman tricks. Slave money benefits for rich, post this. Some hit, some miss, hands turn to fist. In the fist we learn, cause Hollywood burn. Street money earned until the tide turn. A year for opportunity for black community. Hip hop juice for family, recognize the enemy. Come on now. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Income we invent with criminal intent. Keep up when we ran without feeling judgment. Angry streets event against the government. Family views dissent, but they distorted and bent. When God bodies, the money selling keys. Property seized, opportunity to squeeze. We falling like leaves from fall trees. No faith we believe in bare church and weed. Eyes bleed, growing seeds, planted amongst weeds. Full of deeds, never heeds, but says please. Weeds trying to come up, good decision for love. Your mind's bankrupt and you're chasing the bug. What? Selfish needs, tricks overseas. Weeds dying for fleas, spirit drains costly. Plus falsely accused, politically abused. Exploited by the news and drug violent fool. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family. Dangerous opportunity, rise and fall, greet the enemy. They offer immunity, but don't live in our community. So we keep our kids' minds healthy. Spit hip-hop free, squeeze juice from my family.
From my family. Back again. spiritual awakening. About to make it happen. Once again, people, I can only implore you that these days and times of now, that you look within. All the answers you need are within. In you, within you, in your heart and your mind. You have low energy thought, which they think about themselves, low emotion, selfishness, hate, envy, jealousy. These thoughts actually secrete chemicals in the body. Yes, these chemicals actually help damage the body, just like when you're happy and you're loving and you're in a giving mood, those secrete chemicals in the body that helps heal your body. You know, but this is what I'm talking about when I talk about love for self. Knowledge of self, love for self, love for selves. Helping yourself to get right, not having to go to the hospital, not having to go to the dentist, not having to do any of those things that everyone else has to do because you're taking care of yourself. You know about your body when you're sick, before you get sick. What up, Jazzy?
What up, bro? What's good with you?
Just doing a quick on knowledge of self or knowledge of cells, helping people to try to stay healthy. You don't
Okay,
need vitamins, you need minerals, and you don't need a lot of them, but you need enough of them, especially because the food ain't no good.
I got you. I got you. What's good
Yeah,
with
so
you?
nothing, another day, another great day in the neighborhood,
Trying
rounding
to
this
see.
corner off. What
Yeah,
happened to our guest?
I'm waiting.
Can't spell.
She hit me earlier, and I told her 7 o'clock. She on a different coast, so I'm hoping that she don't.
Oh,
You know,
snap, that it ain't 8 o'clock. Well, I'm pretty sure you told her, didn't you?
I did. I
Eastern
told her
time?
7. Yeah, I told her Eastern.
Tenfo.
So
Tenfo.
she in Arizona.
What's
So
good with
hopefully,
you?
oh, cooling, man, cooling. Still vibing off our last one.
Facts. How's the baby girl?
Good. Well, some stuff I had to tell you offline.
Always something, boy.
Yeah, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
what's the last spiritual breakthrough you went through?
Let's see.
Anything big?
Nothing big. Trying to think of anything new since the day I talked to you. Just handling the business with Lloyd. Trying to get I got some other things where I'm applying for a grant for the business, and
That's what's up.
I got a guy that at my job he writes them, and you get a check in 30 days. So
Well,
yeah, so I bet
networking.
so
Facts.
that
Well, that's what it's good to have a good business, especially
I
with
did.
Trump in power.
Yeah. So I did the I showed you my cards. Did
Mm-hmm.
the cards over and then let's see. Only thing I did really I signed finished my stuff with the so I could start trading Charles Schwab. I did
All
that.
right. There you
Um
go. Expanding
I
the horizons. That's what I'm
open,
talking about.
opened up 2 accounts, one for my daughter. Then I opened up, another business account.
Uh-huh.
So just trying to stay focused and stay busy, man.
Hey,
That's all.
either you're getting better or you're getting worse.
Got it. I went to to hear some jazz on Friday. So
Live.
yeah, my homeboy band was playing, so I went there, got some food, and before it was
That's
over, I
what's
was
up.
out. So that's it, man. And nothing. Just really hoping that our guests come on today. And I
Ah,
told you what happened to the other one. That was my fault. I never sent her a link.
right.
The other.
You told me.
So we have to reschedule. So hopefully we'll have 3 new guests coming on in the next week. So
Well, that's what's up.
yeah, so that's what's up. What about
Yeah, I
you?
just been practicing, mastering time. Something I had to do something for 2 hours, and normally it's like, oh, but I said, so I'm gonna turn this into me. And I just sat there, and for the whole I wrote a lyric, just one lyric from the hook to the what you call it. It took up 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Because I just needed my presence to be there, not necessarily my mind.
Right. Did you
But
go ahead.
and no, it just shows that whatever you put your mind on, time's gonna function the way if you put your mind in using the time, anytime, it don't matter when it is, waking up, right before you go to sleep, in the car. If you're using that time wisely, it's a good time that you can always reflect and talk to that inner you.
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to turn that radio off in the car and just listen. Maybe roll the windows down, just listen and just let shit talk to you. Let nature be that healing factor.
You know, I haven't rode with the radio on in my car in years.
Really? No sound at all?
The only time I do it is like long trips. Sometimes I put my jazz music on
Uh-huh.
or some lectures that I've, or but here like locally, nope. I
No.
haven't I stopped that. Let's see, it had to be late 90s.
Mm.
And the only reason like I put it on, like my daughter, she's like, Dad, turn it, because she like pop music, so she don't like the regular, so I have to turn the station off for her. But other than that, I drive. And it started when I was working with Jodeci with Devontae. Then he was just like, he don't listen to any outside radio, to get his ideals and everything.
Mm.
So that's when I had a faceplate on my car. He's like, man, don't even play anything. If you want to be creative, you're gonna have to ride in silence. So I took it off, and every car I had, I just never played.
Creation comes from within. All these higher principles of thought and thinking come from within. Creation, loyalty, forgiveness, love.
I used to ask him all the time, man, you ain't hear this? He's like, man, I ain't listening to the radio. He said, I don't even, he said, my radio's not even in my car. So he didn't ever know what was going outside, and because he wanted to be creative. So I was like, hey,
Right.
and I did it too. So I
You
never
wanted
put it
them
back in there.
juices to keep coming.
I
Have that
never.
inner voice of music instead of the outer one.
hmm
Facts.
So I've been ever since then. Like I said, the only time is like if I'm on a long road trip. Sometimes I may put like like especially like when I was going back and forth with my grandson to Maryland and stuff. I'll put a panic lecture in. That's 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So or Bobby Hemmett or something like
Right.
that. So
Making
I'll
that
do that.
time work for you.
Yeah, that's the only time.
Yeah.
And then when I do, like when I at my other job, where I used to listen to lectures all night when I did the overnight, and then in the morning time I'll brush it off and just play my playlist with all my jazz music on it, and that was it. So
That's
yeah, I
what's
haven't.
up.
So yeah, I kind of strayed away from that, and but if she pops in. If not, we'll just go ahead and go on with what we're doing. So today is it's Easter for for the American holiday.
Oh yeah,
Um,
dang, forgot. Oh, y'all, I don't celebrate holidays, so forgive me if I forget.
mhm,
The people were saying that all day. Hey, happy Easter. Oh yeah, happy Easter. Yeah.
yeah,
Do you?
my
Do you?
my son sent me a what did he send me? He sent me a video of a service today, and I was like, "Is that your mom's church?" And he's like, "No, that's yours." He just clowning, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really get a chance. I ain't watch it, but today I kind of like I just been resting all day. You know, I watched a couple lectures on YouTube, and that was my day. So
Today was just a normal Sunday,
yeah, that's the
like
way it
any
is.
other holiday. Only difference is, do I get a day off?
And not today because we off on we off on
Right. So
Sundays
that's the
anyway.
only difference there is. They're all the same to me. Do I get a day off? That's all I
Yeah,
want to know.
yeah, yeah. So I haven't holidays the same thing as
Yeah,
I, I
I mean,
don't
once you go to the
typically.
realm of knowing and you start investigating, and most people don't think these things matter. They're just like, oh, just celebrate Christmas like everybody else and Thanksgiving like everybody else. They don't get that they're feeding their energy into this whole spell of things. That's
Mhm.
the whole reason it's a national holiday where everyone does it. Why are they doing that? Why on certain days? And Easter's never on the same day.
It's
It could be
always the
in a
Sunday
different
after the
month.
first moon.
It
It's
could be in
always
a different month sometimes. It's
yeah.
crazy.
It's gonna be the Sunday after the full moon.
Whatever.
That's the way they follow it. So like the full
You know,
moon was this past week.
Easter,
So
what? Artemis going to the moon, all that shit, all of it. Santa Claus.
I was just watching this dude doing conspiracy theories, and then he was going through a whole bunch of stuff, man. I was just like,
Man. See,
and
the problem with it, it's a problem now. Everyone knows Hollywood.
Mhm.
They know AI. They know the projections and what they can make look real when it ain't. A realness, believe it or not, has a little touch and feel of realness to it on the background.
Mhm.
But I mean, most people ain't gonna get it. I mean, what are we talking? They gonna believe whatever's on television. Then they put it on the news, every news station for hours.
Mm.
Even if you didn't know that they gonna make sure you know, nigga. We going to the moon. We done shot across. Come on, man. We done circled the earth. Now, before they couldn't get to the moon, right? Now they done circled around the earth 1-2 times and slingshotting around the moon.
They ain't landing on it no more, I guess, huh?
No, not this time. They just gonna do a flyby. Man, you can't make this shit up, man.
All you're doing is we
You
just can't
can't
see you
make this
flying up
up.
in the sky somewhere around
If
the
you was to tell
atmosphere.
me back in the day that they could put anything on television and people would believe it, no matter how ridiculous it is, I wouldn't believe it. I said, nah, people are smarter than that. But the programming is thorough. The mind
Yo,
control is very intensive.
I just posted the guy that was doing all of these. He was showing like the 9/11. He was showing all of these. So he showed the moon, right? And then
Uh-huh.
the one guy that was commentating on the clip that he showed, he's like, "Wow, you're gonna leave the cameraman back, huh?" They was and
Small
then
things that people don't think about.
yo,
Well,
then
why
they
you did
show
that? He just left the camera there. He took
he,
that one snap, and then
he's
you
like,
got
"You're gonna just leave the cameraman sitting there?" And
it
then
ain't
he was
me. It's
then he
the
had a hammer. He had a
it's the
hammer, right?
it's the dinky rinky space machine that they say the thing came on. That's
Mm.
what kills me. The astronaut's almost as big as the whole spaceship. What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
So
That's crazy.
the one astronaut was outside and he was hammering something in the ground, and then he dropped this hammer, right? So he was trying to reach down and reach down to get it. He couldn't get it, and then the guy was like, "Hey, the reason why he can't get it because he's attached to strings."
Well, all we're saying, people, is be very, 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 very careful. Believe
He
none
said,
of
"Look at
what
this
you
guy."
hear and half of what you see, because your eyes, the hand moves faster than the eye can blink. So you gotta know.
Yeah, it
You
was
gotta
hilarious.
know.
The guy, it was hilarious. But he going through a whole bunch of stuff. He was showing how a summer camp, like all of these politicians when they were younger, it had Obama in it, it had Epstein was in it, it had like a whole bunch of different ones, and they
Grooming
was
them, grooming them, all of them. Oh yeah,
yep,
it's like, man, this game has been going on for a while.
yeah,
All right, most
yeah.
people don't know. If you go back, who was the first president?
It wasn't George Washington. We
So,
had the black
so it
president.
was no, it wasn't. There were 9 presidents. Well, no, 12 presidents before him, and 9 of them were black. The first president of the United States was black.
Mhm.
All right, we were Moors. In fact, I was talking to someone the other day. The term white wasn't even classified as a people; it was a title.
Mm.
You could be black and be white, Chinese and be white. It was a title that just showed that you had the privilege. They later on changed it to be an actual classification of people. That's why they took the word white for Caucasians. All right. Did you know that the Confederate flag, that was us? That was our
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And
They
then
stole it
changed
from us. Same
right.
thing to the swastika from
Mhm.
Russia. Nick, you got to remember, we've been here forever, Jazzy. All the shit that they got came from us. Stolen. Legacy. Check out George G.M. James. George G.M. James. Stolen legacy. Break it all down. All right. if you look at them right now, they can't even come up with nothing new. All they do is keep recycling. Batman 1 million, Superman 10,000. It's crazy. Same movies, same plot, nothing new, nothing original.
The crazy thing is just like people don't realize that their time is up. You know what I'm saying? But you can see. It was that video I posted showed everything too, man.
Well, it also shows when you have other nations starting to recognize the horrificness of slavery. So that's showing that at some point, the scales are going to tip our way. We're going to be that people again. We can't help it. It's coming. Yeah. Okay, their lie of we're the minority, even in the United States, black people are not the minority. That is incorrect. They love to spread that narrative. They are the minority everywhere they go. Don't get it twisted. If you touch 9 ether touches anything, it turns into ether, not 6 ether, 7, 8. So it's dark. Whatever we touch, white, Chinese, Indian, we give them this right here, this nappiness that goes up to the sky. We're the only race on the earth that has this. That has this power, this alien DNA in us that they don't want to talk about. But
I think it's a good time. We haven't talked about it in a long time because she may not come. We may be an hour or 2 hours off if she didn't recognize what because it was through Messenger to talk about the soul, the beginning. Let's go through that. Breath, life, spirit, soul. Which one comes first? I think it's a good time.
Well, you have to first, you have to soul versus soul and the spirit. The soul and the spirit aren't the same. Then we can start talking about everything else. Because the spirit is the animator. It makes a thing what it is. Makes a tree be a tree. A flower be a flower. A dog be a dog. A pig be a pig. It makes them act accordingly that we know what these things, how they act. But a soul, everything has a spirit. That's what keeps it going. Trees, grass, roaches, everything. That's what makes it. But a soul is a dark light consciousness. It's a manifestation of 9 ether in its most collapsed form. It'd be like coal turning into diamond, turn into a diamond. That diamond, the way that coal's turning by, how big the coal started off with, how refined that diamond gonna be. It's the pressure. That's what a soul would be when it affects us. Some people are walking around here just spirit. They're going to do whatever looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Some of us have a soul, but the soul is asleep. It's not even functioning in them. All right. But the good thing is all it takes is that one awakening thing and all souls be awakened at the same time. That bum on the street, his soul to be awakened and return back to who we are and what we are. Then the rest of it has to deal with around awakening the soul. The breath of life. How everyone should be breathing through the nose and not the mouth. You breathe through the mouth, that's a mouth breather. All type of toxins come in through the mouth right into the lungs. That keeps you sick. You breathe through the nose, those nose hairs ain't there just for play. They're there to clean the air. All right. You have a nostril in the back of your nose that goes straight to your brain to supply it with a fresh supply of oxygen. All right, just breathing correctly, not breathing with your chest, but breathing with your stomach. It's called a restrained breath. Pushing that chest out pushing your stomach out, leaving your chest alone when you breathe in, then breathing out and watching your stomach come down. Breathe in, stomach goes out. Breathe out, stomach goes in.
When do babies stop that and go to the ordinary breathing? That's because babies breathe that way. I was just wondering normally babies actually start breathing through the mouth. I think all of us do. The natural way, because once they get that spank, it becomes a mouth thing now. At any point, after they're born, it's been said that they still breathe the way we Do
We're
when
supposed
we
to breathe.
right.
Probably after they get old enough to know to do it their way. Once the
Because their
emotions starting to
stomach
get
is
inflicting.
extracting their
Right.
stomach
Once it gets
extracting
big
it.
enough, lungs can be filled with more air.
Mhm.
Then it becomes, are you breathing right or not? And if you breathe through the mouth, sometimes the brain doesn't get the amount of oxygen it needs. And we breathe it, what? It's the normal breath is 18 breaths per minute.
Mhm.
That's 18. That's 666. That's the sign of the beast. They say that because that keeps you in an emotional state. It keeps you being emotional. When something happens around you, you're going to react. But if you just take it down 9 breaths and make it only 9 breaths a minute, you go into a whole different spiritual state, a whole different consciousness. Take it down into 7 breaths, then 5, then 3, then 2. 1 breath like per minute. It takes you into a whole euphoria. It ain't easy to do. I'm not trying to sit here and play with you and act like it is, but it's something to work for, especially because when you learn, for all you college students out there that's trying to learn something, when you learn, you want to breathe at a certain rhythm that allows you to detach from the physical world and focus on what you're trying to learn. And you'll learn it like you were, what do they call those ones that can recall thing at a moment, Jazzy?
Like what is it?
When they can recall something at a moment, photographic memory.
Oh, okay.
You'll get a type of photo map. You'll be like, oh, I remember this. Bloop. You'll go through the whole thing. Bloop, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. Only because you were in a nice space, a quiet spot. You were focused on what you do. I've never seen people like these new college students study with like music in the background or watching TV. I never get that. You can only your mind can only
Have
really
headphones
focus on
on
one
and they
thing.
be
Yeah.
whizzing it. Some people do it.
Some people do it. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. Maybe it could be they can think of the song and whatever they were memorizing at that time comes through even quicker. That's a great parallel programming, to be honest with you.
And that's the whole thing too. That one thing, remember I mentioned before that music, when you listen to music and songs, it inscribes on your memory, across your being. So the one thing about, like, that's what I did when I was doing shadow work. I went back 5 years, played all the music within that time, and then it brought back everything. So that may be scribing. So like as they get finished with college years later, they'll be like, man, I remember in school when such and such was going on, I was able to go ahead and this song brought me through and it helped me. So that's the one thing that music does. It writes on your basically like your DNA. You know what I'm saying? It's writing, it's carving. Because that's the one thing, like when you read the scriptures, when it says that, like that's the one thing, like how they say Satan is supposed to be the over the music and everything, because his body was designed to go ahead with do, re, mi, fa. So it has all of that, and then it has all the rubies and jewels. So so basically his body is a live organ. You know what I'm saying? So music inscribes on your soul. That's
But
what it does. It
that would
inscribes on
also
your soul.
depend on how you play it. If you can play it for wickedness, you can play it for good.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. There's duality in everything.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Law
So
of
that's
the opposites.
that's you're gonna get duality, and no matter what you do, that's what it writes across your soul. So you will be able to go ahead, like when you were 5 years old, it could be a song that'll take you back to when you and your parents was riding in the car. You know what I'm saying? Going to get ice cream and this and that. That's what music does. That's why I was saying on the last live that we did, that music goes by a different set of rules than spelling, because it's also inscribing on your soul, but music is universal. You can just play music anywhere, and then if it's the right moment and the right time and the right energy, you're gonna get people to listen. It doesn't matter where
Facts.
you are.
It
You know what I'm
vibrates
saying?
within the body.
That's what music does. Music is something. And that's the whole thing is you can't, I mean, you can go on vacation and that you can go ahead where they playing the steel drums, and if that person is gifted, and it
You
and
can
it
feel it.
you can feel it. The vibration and the energy from music, that's why it allows whatever you listening to. So that may be why they doing it, man. So because if you're listening to it and if you're inquiring stuff, it's carving on your soul. So it's
Opening it up so you can remember it easier. Yeah, that makes sense.
hmm
Actually makes sense.
hmm
Facts.
yeah, music is something. That's what I was doing today. I was watching a whole bunch of YouTube.
Almost like hypnotizing yourself, but just with music and what you're focusing on.
hmm I was watching a lot of producers how they came up with stuff, and this like Teddy Riley. I was watching his story. Then I was going through like Jodeci stuff, and then the story. Like I heard the stories before, but to sit down and listen to them again, like Casey was on Tank's show. He got an R&B podcast, and he invite different artists on. Excuse me. And what he was talking about was that how they got together. KC and JoJo actually they started off in a gospel um, quartet group. His dad was in a group and his mom was in a group. And his mom told his dad, "I need you to put him in a group." And then after they started doing good, then his mom was like, "I'm gonna pull him away because I have a band that's more up to date and everything." And then so when they did that, his father and the boys got kicked out the band. So the story went on from there, and then became teenagers, and then they were singing, and then some girl that Casey was dating knew Dalvin, and she introduced them together, and they was in Baltimore. And then what happened? Devontae and JoJo started a group, and then what happened? Casey said, "Well, I'm going to Baltimore. I want to be on with it." So then they went, and then they was going through, and then they was working jobs at this time. His father was a roofer. Casey's father was a roofer, and they put a demo together, and then they drove from Maryland to New York City, and they went with like no money. That song, what they sing, they telling you the story, and they didn't have no money. They ran out of money, and then they went there and they almost like demanded that they get signed, and then and Heavy D was like, "Hey, yo, if you don't sign them, I'm gonna sign them." And then from there they just blew up. But it's just something that how if you got good content, good music, good vibe, your energy, if you put all your all into it, and that's what the difference is. Some people do stuff, they do it as a mimic to something else. But if you're
Remember,
doing
it has
something
to
from
be
your
meant
heart,
for you. Because if it
yeah.
ain't meant for you, Spirit's gonna shut it down. And you'll be killing yourself. Why? Well, why? I want to be a basketball player. I've done everything. I was good. Spirit to shut you down. Injury, not the right coach. No one believes in you. A lot of shit can go wrong. But when you find your niche in the spirit, nothing can stop you. Nothing. And normally it's something that you would prefer to do, that you like to do. You just never thought that you can get paid for it.
Mm. Then you have stories though. You have people that never did, like you said, never played a lick of basketball or football, and then somebody say, "Hey, try out. I want you to be on this team," and then they get drafted.
Right.
So it could be a lot of different scenarios to how
But it was meant to be.
right.
Things that are meant to be are meant to be. Period. You have some latitude within there, some choices you can make this so it's better for you, or some choices that it made for that are worse for you. You could be a singer in a small bar, smoky bar, or you could be a Whitney Houston, depending on the choices you make with your voice and what happened while you was moving your way through the singing career. So
Like I hear,
everything falls on choice, but you're still a singer. Your
I
destiny
hear
was to be a
people
singer.
all the time. You know what? But it also has to deal with how much are you willing to give up. That's the whole thing. Because the one thing
Sacrifice.
about it, I look at things now, and I was watching people that said that they sold their soul or whatever, and that or they sacrificed. Like Kanye was just saying he did his mom, and he was talking about how Jordan, his father, and then Bill Cosby with his son, Dre, his son, like they gave a amount of success. However, the thing is, it's people that I know right here that can out sing a lot of the people that's out there right now. However, they're not ready to give up what it takes to get there. You know, that there's a thin line. You can
It's
be
not
so
worth it.
talented, and it's like, what are you willing to give up? A lot of people, you would not realize what they have to do to go ahead to for a moment of success. You know, what are you willing to give up? And that's what they were talking about. All the people, like on this one video on there, they were showing how some people sacrificed and gave up this, that, whatever, just so that they can go ahead and be in the limelight. And a lot of people ended up regretting it, you know.
Well, when you're trapped or controlled by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, unfortunately, the problem with that is no matter how well you're doing, no matter how much money you're making, no matter how prestige you are or famous, it still is not going to help your inner peace. That's not going to help none of that at all. In fact, the more shit happens out there, could even make your inner peace worse.
They was
All right,
talking about
so-
like Jay-Z, like how he, you know, the one thing about the, and especially the entertainment business, I think all of them, they want to grab you while you're young. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Because
course,
you're,
because you're
because,
impressionable.
and the whole thing is like he went after Rihanna. She was 15 years old, and then he had her in the when he flew her unsupervised from Bahamas all the way to New York, and then he was on like the 29th floor, and then she performed and everything, and he told her, he was like, it's only two ways out, this, you sign your contract or out the window. He told a 15-year-old girl that. Can you imagine? And then
Fair.
then not only that, he had hours and hours and hours alone with her. So like for 10 hours, it was just him and her. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what? It locked in a, you know, that's, I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen with my own family. You know what I'm saying? Where you a 16-year-old kid, and you go into and behind that studio wall, you know what I'm saying? Is that
A
produced
whole
that,
lot of Epstein going on.
man,
But
listen.
that's Hollywood. It's all government.
And you know what?
They want you to pay that price for they rich.
That's
You want to go on their television, be on their radio station, you going to have to pay that price.
And that's
Male
not,
and female.
and that's not allegedly. I know this for a fact because it happened to my family member. You know what I'm saying? So I know, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said people don't want to pay the price. And then what happens if you don't fit the bill, then you can go ahead, then you start losing mentally, it can mess you up. And then like
Even when you
have
pay
it.
the bill and get the fame,
Yeah.
you start to lose. Because what it is, when they say you sell your soul, you're not selling your
You
actual
can't
soul.
sell your soul.
No, you can't sell your soul.
You can
What they're
rent the
selling is,
services.
right, now you sold who Jazzy is to whatever this person that you're working for to do whatever the hell they want you to do. Sell
And
the
then-
vaccines, make sure you push the vaccinations, push going to sporting events, church, everything that the mainstream want everyone to do. That's what you're going to be.
Mm.
Now, if you got anything against that, you just keep that shit on the low because that's not what we want you to say to the people.
Mhm.
And then you have some to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be me with me. And then they say, okay, well, you do have some fame and some money. See how you go on your own. But if they help you, you're guaranteed. You're guaranteed movies.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed hits. They're going to make it so because that's how the shit works. But people think that stuff is actually fair. People
But
think
you
the
gotta
Democrats
give
and the
us
Republicans
something.
don't dine at the same restaurant when the debate is over. You know, when the election is over. It's crazy. I mean, people think you go to the hospital and they're supposed to heal you, but they don't. They just maintain your symptoms. It's crazy because they don't deal in healing. They deal in sickness and maintaining disease.
You know what the weird part about that is too? Because after a person went through and spent all of their money and they don't want to go ahead and provide you with the antidote at the end, or it's just like, you know what? This person is only going to have 30 days or this or that. Then what they do is they say, you know what? Have you and your family ever thought about a holistic practitioner? Then they want to go ahead and take you that route. They should
Yeah,
have
but
put
you
that.
be at stage 5 where you're almost dead. Now it's too late. I mean, your body's decayed so far down. Yeah, you can.
When they could have went ahead and suggested that, but before what they're gonna say, they're gonna say, oh, it's not how they say it. You can't go ahead and say that this tea heals this, that, or whatever, or this herb does this or that, because what they'll do, they'll get you for that.
No, the National Society of the World for the UN, they've already came out saying we got a cure for cancer.
No, remember we talked about that the last time.
The United States said we're not accepting that because we need more trials.
But when it came down to getting that jab, it was like there was no trial.
No goddamn trials. They're undercutting them. That's millions, billions of dollars if they just treat cancer. Because if they can treat cancer, guess what? They can treat everything else. That means there is no damn disease. That takes us into a whole new era of medicine.
Hey, you know what? So pretty soon, you ain't gonna be able to go to other places because, like right now, they going out of the country to get their teeth, their bodies done. You know what I'm saying? But once they find out, I guarantee you, it's going to be something where you're not going to be able to go and get the cure.
The problem will be is people will start to get smart and start just healing themselves. They'll just start learning the things on their own.
No, but I'm saying the ones that want to go get the vaccine for whatever, if it's cancer or whatever they have, they're going to try to. People are going to evade and go.
That's just it. It's not a vaccine. All it is a regimen that cleans your body and puts your body back in its natural environment. There is no cure-all thing. Oh, just give you this one joint, your whole body we be healed. Hell no, you got tens and tens of years and 30, 40 years of decay and shit that you've never gotten out. All we're going to do is clean that shit out of you. And then your body will return back.
I think they're still giving you a vaccine, though. I think they came up with vaccines. That's what the other countries did. They came up with
that'll avoid all cancer.
That's what they. So that's what they're doing. They're giving you stuff like to go ahead and cure it, like in a shot form or something, some type of vaccine to kill it. But
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know if it's true.
Just like the vaccine, I don't know. No, I'm not doubting.
The reason why I don't doubt it is because the United States said no. And that as soon as this stuff happened with this war and everything, they all broke out, and they probably had the stuff. They just couldn't go ahead and
they didn't want for everything.
They didn't want to go ahead and because
Dr. Sebi had the cure for all of it. He told you it was all mucus. But once you cleanse the body of mucus, your cells go back to normal. Once you go on a fast and stop eating and just drink H2O, get your food through water and nature, then your body can cleanse and get back into its natural environment. I don't care what disease you got, but they're not going to tell you that. And most people love food. Let's be real. They got food tasting pretty damn good. And most people want that. And the lack of it is a problem because they've never done it in their lives. They've never fasted, unless it was a 3-day, the Lent or something like that. But they've never actually had to fast for that point of time and see the benefits. Not like a 30-day Muslim fast, sun up to sundown joint. You know what I'm saying? When you
a lot of churches do it though, especially like in January. They do the Daniel's fast at the beginning of the year. They do like 20-something days.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, I did it before.
I've never heard of that one.
It's like come around January, you'll see it. I'll remind you. Every year. So what it is, I'll look online. No, it's just like in church, Christianity. They do it every year.
A 23-day?
It's like 20-something days, 22 or 20-something days, and they give you a list of stuff that I've done it before.
Tenfold.
I've done it.
It could be you right. I've been out of church so long. Right.
I've done it.
Absolutely right. It could be.
And then when you do eat, it's things like you only eat like beans and stuff. They have a menu. It's the foods that Daniel in the book of Daniel it's grain, stuff like that. So yeah, I've done it before, and a lot of people do it and lose weight, but the whole thing is, as soon as they get off, they go right back to the regular thing. The whole thing is The whole thing is for you to go ahead and change your diet and change your way of living.
That's
So
what it's supposed to be, right?
right. So that's what happens is like in the beginning of the year, everybody flood the gym. They'll go to the gym, then they get on these fasts or these diets. But after a couple months, they're right back to then you just like you defeated the whole purpose. So the whole thing is that's why when you fast, you should go ahead and look at it like it's going to be a new lifestyle, not just so going ahead and saying I'm just going to do this for the moment. You want to change your habits and everything. That's why, like ever since we said the Ramadan thing, all during the week, I have not been eating breakfast, lunch. I wait till dinner and then I make sure that the dinner is something that I want to go ahead and do, and then I refrain from like the sodas and stuff like that. So water and like even like the water that I'm drinking right now is good stuff. I don't want too many people know about it because I they run out real quick. they run out very quick, man. I mean, and they have the peach flavor all, and it's very good, but zero sugars, carbs, and all. So the whole thing is I'm in the essence of going ahead and changing my lifestyle is because I want to be the person that's going ahead to eat to live, not to live to eat. So that's why.
Oh, there we go. We back.
Oh, I was just explaining that I'm changing my whole dietary thing as far as like I want to eat to live, not live to eat. So I know some people go ahead. Well, I can go ahead and change my food. When is it? I ain't even going through all that. I'm just not gonna put it in me. So that's the whole thing. I want to do it from the jump, just to go ahead and try to do something that I haven't been able to do for a long period of time. Like even when I did the watermelon fast, I did it for the 2 months, but then after that, I kind of slipped back. So I want to go ahead and find something. So I'm realizing that the best thing is the alkaline diet. That's the one that I want to kind of like stay to. I already don't eat beef or pork, so I'm just going ahead and trying to get to the motion where I can go ahead and mentally get to that point where I can just go ahead and eat all alkaline fruits and vegetables and that.
What are some alkaline fruits and vegetables?
I mean, you could eat fish, you could eat like chicken. It's a lot of nuts. It's like a lot of vinaigrettes type stuff, like olives. I had to send it to you. My doctor keep telling me every year I go to, he's like, you need to get on the alkaline diet. That's the best thing for you. Just get on the alkaline diet. So you know what? Here it is. I'm getting older, so I'm looking at it like, because the whole thing is like I said, it's about protecting that nervous system, and that the nervous system is what's going to go ahead, the vibration of different foods and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. I don't want to get caught into the thing where it's just like eating fried all the time. And man, I tell you, like when I did eat beef, and pork chops was, ribs, bacon really wasn't that hard for me to give up. It was, I don't know why, but it just wasn't. Everybody fiending for bacon, but it really wasn't. It was pork chops and it was ribs. And then like on the holidays when my mom made that spiral ham, that was, but I haven't touched it. My son hasn't seen me eat. He's 30, about to be 31. Hasn't seen me eat a burger or hamburger, hot dog, and nothing all his life. So it's been over 30, about 33 years. Hey, 33.
Shit, I can't say the same.
No, I mean, hey, you know what? It may not be for everybody, and if you feel a certain way about it, but I know what my body is telling me and what my spirit is telling me, so that it's for me. It may not be for you. You know what I mean? Some people, but I know what.
Well, fasting should be for everyone.
No, right? Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
We done got out of control with this eating stuff. That is not love for self, feeding yourself, until
America. And then it's bad because of social media. They be every time showing you how to make this and this cakes and all of this stuff with all these sauces all on it. And like, doesn't this look good? Yeah. So, I mean, it's not helping, you know what I'm saying? And the price of food is going up too.
Once again, I mean, the food can go up as high as you want. Eat less of it.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
saying like
mean,
if you want to go
the
to,
problem is when the price of food go up, you keep buying the same shit. Nigga, put them goddamn chips and cookies and bullshit away. Nigga, you don't need none of that
yeah,
bullshit. But
no,
they buy them. That's part of their ready. Put all that away since they want shit to go up
even if you
tenfold.
want to like crab and lobster and stuff, that it's like it's not going down. You know what I mean? And then now tariffs, you know, the price of everything, food is it's
Look, I'm like in the Bible. I give Caesar his. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about inflation. I don't care how much. I'm gonna be able to eat regardless. So
yeah.
yes, it's more, but guess what? You can still
And but you
afford it.
know, but the thing with me, I want to plant my own. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do
There you
this
go.
year.
And that's where
I,
everyone should be.
and it's not because of the price of anything. It's just because of the health of the food that you're getting. Just like you know, like they were saying, like McDonald's. Remember we was talking about that before. It's like the you know putting human meat and stuff, all of that.
In
Allegedly, I don't.
California, they got to put the cancer-causing ingredients on the thing. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's just like you don't even want to eat out anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just
You don't
like
know what you're getting unless you go into a high-end restaurant. You assume you're getting a filet mignon. You
I seen
assume the T-bone. You know what I'm saying?
I seen this one where they was talking about they said that they was going to get I guess they wanted salmon and then they was giving them engineered tilapia or something some kind of
Oh,
engineered so it was just like and they didn't and they found out and then they went back to so
but
I'm just like
you can tell that. I know what that is because then the salmon. You know how the salmon has the little fillet. You know
right
the
it
little
must have
layers.
been
It
yeah it
didn't
must
have.
have
They
been
don't have no layers on it.
oh
It look
okay
pink, but it don't got really the layers. If you break it open, you can see ain't
Hmm.
no layers to it. That's how you
then
can tell salmon from real salmon, fake salmon from real
Then I
salmon.
watched this documentary that they have in Canada. So they had where we talked about this before, where they had they was breeding salmon and then they was engineering one in the next tub over. So they was breeding some and they was making them bigger and they'd only take them like a week, 6 weeks to go, whatever, to get full size and bigger than what the size that they
Mhm.
normally are. And then that's just like, but the whole thing is, I was like, you know, it's gonna be cross
And
contamination.
they couldn't put those salmon in with the other
The
salmon because
regular,
they ate them.
right? So that's why I'm just like, you know, what, I'm like, it's just too much. It's just too
Well,
much. I want
the
wild caught.
problem
I want
is
to go to and get my own
this is
stuff.
the problem when technology doesn't have a spiritual background, a background of what's right to do and what's wrong to do, or what we should do or what we shouldn't do. It's
Mhm.
too easy to get salmon the right way, to have crops the right way, to do cattle the right way. They just want profit, profit, profit. So technology, all they want to use technology for is for profit. And if that's all you're going to use it for in your capitalism, it's never going to be used the right way ultimately. It's
And
always
then
going to be used for a negative occurrence because you're trying to manipulate it one way. Remember, it ain't really got nothing to do with right or wrong. It's just how you want to use that energy. You want to use it for you or for others.
even the seeds, you know, like Bill Gates went and brought all the farms, and he doing that one time seed. Your seeds only bloom one time, and then you got to go back and buy again from them.
Right.
It's
It's
just like
ridiculous.
it's just too much. And then, but that's why what's the black dude with the dreads that do the like he like a Dr. Sabi now. He
Oh, I can't remember his name.
brother Yakai.
Okay.
So he's offering on his website where you can go ahead any seeds you want. He will go ahead and send them to you, and then all he asks you to do is just send them back. Send once they grow, send them some seeds back so he can keep it,
Keep it
going.
going.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what's
kind
up.
of dope right there.
That
But
is dope.
how many people are actually gonna go ahead and be, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna do that. Most people want for profit, but this dude is healing everything. He doing the same stuff, and he got the technology and his like he got hot like not a hospital, a healing center out there where I went through his video. It's nice. You got to see his stuff, man.
Well, we're going
He
into
doing
that
everything
time
all
where we can
natural
use
too.
light frequency for
Hmm.
healing. Instead of
Right.
going through with a scalpel, just go through with the ultraviolet beam and kill the target right where it's at,
Mm.
or heal the target, or hit it with a frequency that makes it die because the rest of the things around it are flourishing.
That's the thing, vibration.
Vibration, yeah, frequency, vibration, wavelengths, they all the same.
Everything is vibration. That's the whole thing. Everything on this planet is vibration. It all
Matter just
goes up
vibrates at a very
in
slow
different.
rate to light. That's all. Light vibrates at a very high rate. Mind vibrates higher than light. Soul vibrates higher than this. The mind vibrates lower than the spirit. The spirit vibrates higher. The soul vibrates higher than the spirit. It's all vibration because that vibration represents your consciousness, what level you're on.
So I was watching, like they were showing documentary about, the pineal gland and everything. Then they showed, like the eye of Horus, and the awareness, by being calcified and everything. But then
Mhm.
they showed Osiris. They showed his head, how they showed the little things that he wear on his head,
Each is
and
a symbol.
it lays down at the top of your skull, and the print is at the top of your brain, where your brain meets. It's fire. It was fire. It showed the whole thing. It said, "Here's Osiris," and they flipped it, and it showed you the imprint that's going around the top of your brain, where your brain goes and it connect together.
That's the type of science we was on, bro.
You can't make this up. That's the whole
That's
thing.
the
That's
type
what
of
I'm saying.
science we
You
talking
know what I'm
about.
saying? You can't make this up. That's why I'm just like, wow, man. And then that's why I said, when you start to get into knowing and you start to get to see these things with your own,
You be like, wow, can't even believe that it can exist.
mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. So, but yeah, I ain't gonna hold us too long. I was hoping that she would pop in, but she probably gonna come in a lot long
No.
later. What time is it? Well, how long we been on?
8 o'clock.
We've been
Well, it's 7:57.
Oh, we've been on for about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and reach out and then reschedule.
You
And
know
then
how we do.
we gotta go ahead because I gotta find out how to go actually into there and set it up where we can post it ahead of time. And it sets reminders. I don't know how to do that no more since it looked like something is new inside the StreamYard.
Yeah, they update all the time. You
But
just
the
got to
whole
go
thing
in there
is,
and play with it.
well, hopefully when we switch over with Lloyd, everything will be where we can
There you go.
send out to all our stream platforms at once, where you ain't gotta. So we gotta find out and go to hit TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, your Facebook, YouTube. We can do them all at once, and then we can go ahead and set up a date. So find out and let me know, and I'll hit you after the screen though. After the
10 for a
live.
player.
All right.
All right, all
Hey.
y'all. Peace, love. Another session is coming to an end.
Peace.